Okay, so I've been wanting to make this video for the longest time now. Ever since Garou beats Platinum S earlier on in the series, I've been wanting to make this video, but I didn't know whether I should wait a little bit longer for Garou to, show some more feats, or whether I should just make the video straight after that, amazing chapter that we had like a couple of weeks ago. And I just decided to wait a little bit longer because I felt like Garou, well, this current form of Garou was going to show more feats, and I was right, because in his fight against Sage Centipede, he showed one of the most impressive feats that we've seen so far in the series. And I feel like it's finally time. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Garou versus Released Boros. Well, current Garou in the manga versus Released Boros. And a lot of you guys might be already thinking that Garou is going to win, but you guys don't forget how strong Released Boros was in the manga. Don't let recency bias get to your head, because this fight is a lot closer than many of you actually think. But of course, before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please subscribe, because a lot of you guys actually aren't subscribed, and I'm trying to get to 10k by the end of the year. I don't think we're going to hit it, but if we were to hit it, that would be a great milestone. But of course, let's just get into the video, because this versus battle is something I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. But of course, starting off with, I guess, just naming some of their feats, some of their abilities, what they've done so far in the series. And I feel like it's necessary that we talk about Garou first, since Garou is, I guess, just one of the best characters to talk about right now in fiction, in my opinion. But anyway, Garou currently in the manga has shown that he's able to easily defeat above dragon level threats with fairly like mid diff, maybe a little bit high diff. But in his battle against Sage Centipede, I'm sure it's safe to say that he didn't use much of his power. He used like about maybe approaching high diff, but that was definitely a very impressive feat. And according to people in my comments, apparently that feat was calculated to be around like continental to like multi-continental, which of course is very, very impressive. Now, of course, we've seen that Garou was also able to completely dominate characters like Flashy Flash, who are considered to be around like highest dragon, or maybe low above dragon 5%, maybe 2%. And we've seen that he's also able to completely dominate and completely destroy another character that is definitely top 10 strongest in the series, which is Platinum S. And Platinum S was just completely overwhelmed in this fight. Platinum S stood no chance against current Garou, and we saw that he was completely destroyed once Garou decided to actually focus all of his attention on Platinum S. And we see that obviously Platinum S, in my opinion, was scaled to be around like maybe an above, low to mid above dragon, so like a 15%, maybe 20%, maybe just 15% maybe for Platinum S, because I feel like Platinum S had more to offer. But it was just kind of unfortunate that he had to face off against Garou, who is a beast currently in the manga. But of course, Garou has shown more feats, which was he was also able to, I guess, destroy Vomited Fura Ugly with literally no diff, like just completely ran straight through him with one kick, which Vomited Fura Ugly is supposedly around like a high dragon, which I guess currently isn't too impressive compared to characters like Evil Ocean Water, Sage Centipede, current Garou. But high dragon, I guess currently, like overall generally, high dragon is still a pretty strong monster to go up against, especially since Vomited Fura Ugly also had the acidic properties that also kind of boosted him in terms of how effective he was in fights. We saw that against Darkshine, because technically they are probably around the same level in terms of raw strength, but the acid just got to Darkshine since he does not have acid resistance because he's just a human. But Garou also has, many abilities. Like his speed is insane, his strength is insane. He's perfected his Godslayer fist, which I'm assuming this is like the last time we're gonna see any more evolution for his fist, because he said his fist is pretty much perfected. And I made an entire video talking about like, why this might mean that his fist could be just fully awakened at this point. And you can watch that video after you've seen this one. But of course, I feel like we've kind of talked enough about Garou. Garou right now, I would scale him to about, probably continental level at the highest currently in the manga, maybe multi-continental, and at the lowest maybe country level. But of course, in terms of the above dragon scale, I would say he's like a a mid above dragon at this point. He's around Tatsumaki's level of strength, so I would say maybe like a 40%, 50% above dragon. But now moving on to Released Boros. Now Released Boros has also showed many impressive feats, even though this isn't even his final form. Now let me get this straight. Let me just like set this I guess this boundary that I do not think Garou currently is Meteoric Boros level. Meteoric Boros would completely destroy Garou currently in the manga, because Meteoric Boros has shown like immense, like the strongest so far level of power, speed, strength, you know, all of that stuff. So until Garou gets to awaken, you know, fully awaken, then we can talk about Meteoric Boros. But for now, let's just talk about Released. So Released Boros has shown many feats. For example, Released Boros was able to literally, you know, send an energy beam towards Saitama that was stated to be able to destroy city-sized level of structures. So he's probably able to destroy like any city he wants in the One Punch Man, I guess, in the One Punch Man series. And in the One Punch Man series, cities are said to be around country level. So I mean, not country level, sorry, but country sized. So you can imagine just how devastating these, you know, full power beams from, you know, from Released Boros are. So if Garou was to get hit by this, then it would be pretty troublesome, because, you know, Garou, although he does have the ability to evolve, we're talking about current Garou. We're not talking about, you know, evolving, you know, him adapting. We're talking about just his current strength. So if Boros was to hit him with that, you know, that's game over. But we know that Garou currently is probably faster than Released Boros. They're probably around the same level of speed, but Garou probably edges it in terms of speed. He's probably FTL plus, or, you know, he's crazy fast. I'm not too sure the exact, like, you know, speed calc for him, but I know he's definitely faster than the speed of light, that's for sure. And also Boros is probably faster than the speed of light in his released form. But of course, we saw that Boros also has regeneration, so that's also going to be a big problem for Garou. Garou is going to need to do something similar to what he did to Sage Centipede and destroy Boros in like one full-blown hit, which of course wouldn't be impossible for Garou, because we've seen that he's able to do that with characters like Sage Centipede, who probably are around the same level as Released Boros in terms of overall strength as well. But of course, I would say, you know, Garou in this fight, if he's able to, I guess, kind of stop, you know, Boros from regenerating, maybe Boros might have a regenerative core just like Sage Centipede, so maybe he could maybe take that out and destroy it. And once he's done that, then Garou has a much easier fight to face off against Released Boros here. But of course, Released Boros has shown other feats, like being able to send Saitama through multiple pillars, and obviously he's able to shock Saitama with his immense speed. We've seen that Saitama showed, you know, physical shock on his face once, you know, Boros came at him with all of his speed in his released form. So that's of course another crazy feat, because we know that Saitama doesn't normally show shock or any emotion during fights. So the fact that he did that with Boros is, again, as I said, another impressive feat. And Boros has just shown pretty much in all aspects of fighting, he's like one of the best in terms of hand-to-hand combat, in terms of like energy projection, in terms of speed, in terms of reflexes, in terms of just, you know, just his potential to get stronger. Boros is like one of the best, or probably the best so far in the series. Of course, maybe once we've seen Awaken Garou in the manga, then maybe we might have a contender, but for now, I would say Released Boros is still one of the best in terms of overall, you know, in terms of being an all-rounder. But I feel like Garou in this fight specifically may be able to edge it because of his speed and just his, I guess, technique, because Garou's technique is something that is probably one of his most, I guess, one of the standing abilities that he has, like one of the best abilities he has. His technique is second to none. He's, in terms of technique, Garou definitely takes it in the series. And I feel like, as I said before, if Garou is able to stop, you know, Released Boros from regenerating, then this fight goes to Garou, probably around high diff. I would say Garou probably does win this fight, probably around high diff. But tell me what you guys think in the comments, because that's personally what I think. Because, you know, despite Boros being probably one of the best characters in terms of all-round strength, I feel like Garou just excels in certain parts, like for example his speed, his technique. Even some may even say he has more attack power than Boros, which personally I disagree with, but you know, because Boros has been stated to be able to release beams that can destroy like country-sized cities. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Garou personally for me wins like high diff, but apart from that, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like, and apart from that, I'll see you in my next video.